Hi guys, Brad Wood here. Today I'm going to introduce you to a new learning resource for ColdFusion, and that is the site extracism.io. This site features a number of programming languages. This is aimed at people who are completely new to ColdFusion, but if you're an existing developer, you'll probably have fun running through these exercises as well. This will be a two-part video. Today I'll show you how to use the site as a student, and my next video will show you how to contribute new exercises back to the community. So the site's located at extracism.io. Notice how it's spelled E-X-E-R. It's a play on words with the word exercise. The first thing you'll want to do is log into the site. You'll use your GitHub authentication. They have a nice single sign-on mechanism, so you can just sign in with your GitHub details. And if you go to the dashboard, you'll notice they have a couple how it works links, experienced devs or new developers. So if you go through here, you'll find a link to a command line client you'll need to download and install. It's very small and simple to use, and it comes from the folks at Extracism. I'm using Windows, and so I installed the command line client like that. Once it's installed, if I grab a DOS window just to show you, you can type Extracism and you'll see the help for the command. So with this command, you can kind of control getting the new exercises from the site locally and submitting your work back for other people to look. So if we go to languages, we'll see that ColdFusion is now listed. There's currently 24 problems. Hopefully that number will be going up soon as people begin contributing. And right here is some help. Shows you how to install ColdFusion. We don't need a ColdFusion server. Everything we'll be doing is from the command line, so all you need is command box. And we have links for the setup on that if you don't have command box already. And then we can view the available exercises. So each of these exercises are very simple and self-contained problem you get to solve. It has a failing set of unit tests, and your goal is to make those unit tests pass. So you write code until all the tests are passing, and once you've got them all passing, you're done. You can submit your solution back for people to take a look. So you can see here the first one is hello world, little description of what it needs to do, and some instructions on how to run the test, which we'll play with right now. So I'm going to run all my command line interactions through command box because it's a little bit easier. That way I just have one shell to work with. Whenever I want to run that native Extracism shell, I'll just precede it with an exclamation point, and that's the same as just running that directly from DOS or bash. So here you can see I can get that output that kind of has the help output for that Extracism command. So the first thing that we'll want to do is run Extracism fetch ColdFusion, right? Again, that exclamation point means we're delegating out to our operating system to run this for us. And we can see that it has created an Extracism ColdFusion folder with a hello world directory inside of it, and that's where our first exercise lives. Let's take a quick look at what's in this folder right here that we just created. There's a few files in here. The README is right here if you want to review it for the instructions. There's really two of these files we really care about. The first one is hello world.cfc. This file name for each exercise will just be the name of the exercise.cfc, and this is where our code goes. We get to implement this guy right here to make the test pass. The second file you might want to open up just to reference is going to be hello world test, and that's going to be called whatever the name of the exercise is followed by the word test. This is our test suite that we need to make pass, right? So this is a test box suite. As you can see, it creates an instance of our CFC, and it says we expect the hello world method to be hello comma world exclamation mark. So this is the test suite we need to make pass, and this is where we need to write the code to make that pass. So let's run our test. We don't need to start a server. We're going to do this completely from the command line. We're going to run this task runner in the directory here. First we need to change into the ColdFusion directory and the hello world folder. There we go. So now we're in the right folder. So that test runner.cfc, we're going to run that with task run test runner. It installs testbox the first time, and now it runs our unit tests, and we see they're failing. Expected hello world, but received an empty string. Okay, so let's make a change. Let's say return hello, right? I can save the file, come back, rerun that. Tester's still failing. The message has changed a little bit. Expected hello world, but received hello, right? So very easy to kind of iterate over this. There's a nice little feature here. If you think it might take you a few tries to get something right, we can run our task runner, and we can add a flag to it, and that flag is going to be called :watcher. The colon means we're passing that flag onto the actual task runner itself. Now that's going to sit there and it's going to watch this folder for changes. And anytime we save a CFC file in this folder, it's going to rerun the tests automatically. So let's modify the file, hello Brad, and just hit Control-S to save, and you see the test run instantly without me needing to do anything. Of course, they're still failing because I haven't met the requirements yet. How about hello comma world? I'll save, automatically reruns, still failing, haven't quite made it. Add the exclamation mark in there, which is what we're missing. Save the file, and now everything's turned green. Green is good. That means that we're passing the test, and we're finished. We've completed the hello world exercise. It's all running locally. We can give ourselves a pat on the back. And the next step is to submit this up to the website, and this allows other people to review your work and even provide you some feedback on it. So to stop this task watcher here, I can just hit Control-C, tell it to stop watching files, and I will submit it to the site by running this native exorcism CLI again, exorcism submit, and I'm going to give it the name of the file that I've been working with, helloworld.cfc. In order for this to work, you will need to have saved your API key from the site, and if you follow the instructions they have, that's really easy to do. So I've submitted my work back to the site now, and if we go visit this URL, we should be able to actually see the code that we just submitted. Copy and paste that out of the CLI. Here we go. We can see there's actually 2 people that have submitted their versions of Hello World. Mine's the most recent one right here. If I click on this, you can actually see the code that I wrote in here. So people can come in, they can add comments on this, and they can give you some feedback. Somebody might say, you know what, you should really comment your code. So we can add a comment and say, greet the world here, right? Rerun my test just to make sure everything still passes. Yep, everything's still green. And so I can resubmit helloworld.cfc again now that I've made changes to it. And if we go back to the website, this is actually pretty cool. It'll show us all the iterations our code has gone through. So here's my first iteration, and here's my second iteration. And you can see the second iteration has a little comment. So it's got some pretty cool sort of social features to get feedback on your code. And that's it. The next thing that we would do is we would move on to the next exercise. So we would run exorcism fetch, and it's going to pull down a new exercise for us. So now we have a new folder called Leap, and you would change into that directory, and you would edit the files in that directory. If you want to read about it, we can go back to the ColdFusion track, available exercises, we can click on Leap, and we can see the description of what it is. It needs to be a function that tells if the year is a leap year. And so this is the process. You fetch a new exercise, make the test pass, submit your results for people to look at, and then fetch the next exercise, rinse and repeat. So it's a pretty easy site to use. It's pretty fun to do. And in my next video, I'll show you how you can help implement additional exercises for the ColdFusion language. If we look here under unimplemented exercises, you can see that there's a great deal of exercises that the other languages on the site all have implemented, but ColdFusion is missing. And it's very, very quick and very easy for you to help submit these. So in the meantime, check this out and recommend it to friends of yours who are interested in learning ColdFusion and just want some really basic ways to wrap their brain around how the syntax works. And that's it. Have a great day, everybody.